January 13th, 2006. 300 cops surround a bank in Buenos Aires. Inside, 23 hostages are face down on marble floors. Masked gunmen wave pistols at their heads. The gang leader picks up the phone. His demand? Pizza. The negotiator thinks he's insane. He's not. Because while every cop watches the front door, 3 men are already below the building, stuffing $19 million into bags. The hostage crisis, theater, the guns, toys. In 7 minutes, these thieves will disappear from a completely surrounded bank. They'll leave behind a note. Without weapons or grudges, it's just money, not love. Argentina will call them heroes, but one man's wife is about to destroy everything. How did 6 men outsmart an entire nation? And how does the perfect crime fall apart? Before we dive in, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. If you enjoy true crime stories like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe. December 2003. Fernando Araujo sits in his apartment, staring at newspaper clippings. He's obsessed with the Ramallo bank siege, 1999, where cops stormed a bank and killed 2 hostages on live TV. Araujo sees something different. Opportunity. He sketches on a napkin. What if robbers could vanish from inside a surrounded bank? Not through violence, through magic. He calls Sebastian Garcia Bolster, his friend who fixes motorcycles and can build anything. Here's the thing about Bolster. In 2001, Argentina's banks collapsed. His family lost 80,000 pesos. Life savings, gone overnight. When Araujo says, "Let's rob Banco Rio," Bolster doesn't laugh. He asks how. The plan? 2 teams. One takes hostages upstairs, creates chaos, commands total police attention. Team 2 enters through storm drains below, breaks into the vault through the floor, works undisturbed while cops watch the show above. Simple concept, brutal execution. Bolster calculates 150 meters of tunnel, 2 feet of reinforced concrete, all done silently. They need the right crew. Ruben Beto de Dios joins first. 17 bank robberies in the 80s. He knows vaults, police timing, hostage psychology. Araujo pitches the idea. Beto asks 3 questions. How much? How many guns? How many people? 20 million minimum. 0 real weapons. 6 people total. Beto's in, but he brings a partner, Luis Mario Vitet, former military, special forces. He once held 43 hostages for 6 hours using only his voice. Never fired a shot. Alberto Doc Silas joins next. Super Bond gang veteran. 8 years in prison studying what gets criminals caught. Doc spends 3 months watching Banco Rio, photographing everything. Shift changes, armored cars, employee breaks. He finds the perfect window. Friday afternoons, 12:30 to 3:30, when rich clients visit their boxes before weekend trips. Julian Zalocavaria becomes their driver. Former street racer, he maps 17 escape routes. Times police response from every station. He'll wait at a manhole 3 blocks away. Engine running, ready to extract the tunnel team. 6 men, different motivations, revenge, money, adrenaline. United by one vision. This won't just be a robbery, it'll be performance art. But can Bolster actually tunnel through concrete without anyone noticing? September 2005, 2 a.m. Bolster climbs into Buenos Aires storm drains. He's wearing a wetsuit, carrying tools. The tunnels smell like death, rats everywhere. He finds a spot beneath Banco Rio's vault. Now comes the hard part. His pneumatic hammer hits concrete. 10 seconds of work, 30 seconds listening. Each strike vibrates the building above. First night, 6 inches of progress. He needs 24 inches total, 15 nights minimum. October brings rain. Heavy storms flood the tunnels. Bolster adapts, installs pumps, builds supports, hauls lumber through sewage and darkness. One night his methane detector screams. Lethal levels. He evacuates. returns with oxygen tanks. Another night he meets a homeless man living down there. They lock eyes, the man runs. Bolster checks newspapers the next morning for reports. Nothing. He continues. Above ground, Vitet walks into Banco Rio, opens a checking account. He's memorizing everything. Camera locations, 13 total, blind spots near basement stairs. Doc profiles every employee. The manager arrives first, leaves last. The guard is 58, 2 years from retirement. Never draws his weapon. Araujo writes the script. Literally, dialogue for the hostage situation. At 2:47 p.m., Walter will demand pizza, not because they're hungry, because pizza requires approvals. Waste time. The absurdity confuses negotiators. Beto releases hostages periodically, one every 20 minutes, maintains hope for peaceful resolution. Doc fires blanks at calculated intervals. Dangerous enough to seem real, not enough to trigger assault. Every action manipulates police psychology. December 20th. Bolster breaks through. His drill hits empty air. He sees the vault floor above. He creates an opening, just wide enough for a man. Seals it with quick, dry cement that looks permanent but breaks in seconds. The tunnel's ready. January 11th. 2 days before, Araujo distributes props, replica pistols weighted with lead, masks, gloves, waterproof coveralls. They synchronize watches. Weather forecast, clear skies, 87 degrees. Hot enough that cops will skip heavy armor. Doc asks the question, what if someone dies? Araujo's instant. We abort and run. This only works if nobody gets hurt. 48 hours later, they'll test if the illusion holds. January 13, 2006, 12:28 p.m. Bolster drops into the storm drain. Beto and Doc follow with empty bags. They reach the entry point. One strike, the cement explodes. They're in the vault. Above them, 23 people are banking. Normal Friday, no idea what's coming. 12:31, 3 minutes later. Vitet, Araujo, and Silas walk through the front door. Business casual, briefcases, normal customers. Vitet approaches the desk. The guard turns away. Vitet pulls his weapon. Nobody move. This is a robbery. His voice freezes everyone. Total authority. Zero hesitation. Araujo locks the door. Doc herds people into groups. 90 seconds. They control the entire bank. 12:45, first 911 call. 12:52, 40 patrol cars arrive. 1:15, 300 officers, helicopters, snipers on roofs, news cameras everywhere. Biggest police operation in Buenos Aires history. Vitet calls police calm, friendly. We don't want anyone hurt. We just need time. He releases a teller as good faith. She walks out crying. Tells cops the robbers seem nervous. Negotiators think amateur. They're wrong. 1:30 p.m. Below the drama, Bolster's ram destroys boxes. One every 15 seconds. Euros. Gold coins from 1892. Bearer bonds worth $2 million. Some boxes have family photos. Letters. Ashes. They leave these alone. Others, more cash than most people see in a lifetime. One box has nothing but emeralds that pour out like candy. Left wall, back wall, right wall, everything into waterproof bags. 2:47. Walter makes the call. We need pizza, 30 boxes, different toppings. The negotiator laughs. You want pizza? Now. Walter doesn't break. Yes, we're hungry. Hostages are hungry. We want pizza. The request goes up the chain. Everyone laughs. These idiots want food during a siege? They approve it. Seems harmless. 3:05. Pizza arrives under armed escort. The smell fills the bank. Hostages eat in surreal silence. Police psychologists watching think it's positive. Robbers humanizing captives. Good sign. Every assumption is exactly what Araujo scripted. 3:27. Vault team checks time. 143 boxes cracked. Bags bulging. $19 million. Bolster tapes their message to the wall. In a neighborhood of rich people without weapons or grudges, it's just money, not love. They lower themselves through the hole, back to sewage. Above, Vitet delivers final performance. We're coming out, 5 minutes. Hangs up, 3:32. Tunnel team loads bags onto a raft, paddling through darkness. Zaloca waits at the manhole, engine idling. One by one they surface, soaking, covered in sewage, rich. They pile in. The van merges into traffic, just another work vehicle, 3:33. While 300 cops maintain perimeter, all 6 robbers are gone. Vitet locks hostages in a basement room. Stay here. Don't come out for 10 minutes. Places toy guns on a desk, then vanishes through the hole. Building's empty. Police don't know yet. 7:45, 4 hours later, SWAT enters, flash grenades, tactical precision, hostages safe in a room, toy weapons on a desk, pizza boxes warm, no robbers, commander radios. The subjects have vanished. Silence. Then, what do you mean vanished? 8:15. Detective enters vault. Boxes open. Jewelry scattered. Then he sees it. Perfect circle in the floor, leading to darkness. On the wall, their note mocks everyone. One detective says it. They played us. By midnight, every TV in Argentina runs the story. Robbers vanish like ghosts. Police fooled by pizza and toys. Public reaction, not what authorities expected. Radio shows flooded with praise. They didn't hurt anyone. They embarrassed the system. They're heroes. After 2001, when banks stole billions from citizens, many see this as justice. Toy guns become symbolic. Photos of forensic teams bagging children's pistols. One headline, "They robbed us with toys." Largest manhunt ever launched. Forensic teams everywhere. Bleach destroying DNA, planted hair samples, false trails, clean van, empty tunnel. 300 witnesses interviewed, 10,000 hours of footage, 1,400 leads. Everything ends nowhere. February 2006. Case goes cold, no suspects, no progress. Street art appears, T-shirts with toy guns sell out. A song about the heist hits #1. They're folk heroes, living legends. But in a house in Buenos Aires province, Alicia Dulio just found $73,000 in her bedroom wall. She knows what her husband did, and she's about to end everything. February 15th. Alicia finds money behind fresh drywall. Not the first time. Under floorboards last month. Water heater before that. Her house is a vault. She knows about Banco Rio. Everyone does. She knows Beto was part of it. What she doesn't know? He's planning to leave. Text messages reveal Claudia, 23, nightclub. Beto's telling friends he's taking her to Paraguay. Alicia confronts him, denies, admits, promises it's over. 3 days later, she follows him, pounds on Claudia's door screaming. Neighbors call cops. Officers arrive. Alicia sobbing, but also shouting. He robbed Banco Rio. Money everywhere. They take notes. One detective recognizes this. 5 days later, Alicia walks into federal headquarters. She's decided. She gives names. Beto, Vitet, Doc. Planning meetings in her kitchen while she served coffee. Tunnel discussions, gun rehearsals, pizza strategies, toy weapons. She doesn't know Araujo or Bolster. Beto kept those names hidden. But what she knows, enough. Police promise protection for her 7-year-old son. She tells them everything. March 7th, 4:47 a.m. Rams smash Beto's door. He's asleep next to $970,000 in cash. Doesn't fight, hands up. 4:48, Vitet arrested. 4:51, Doc taken peacefully. By noon, Araujo, Bolster, Zaloca captured. Evidence? Thin. Alicia's testimony. Cash in one location. Rest of 19 million? Missing. News breaks. Arrest made. Public split. 68% wanted them free forever. Lawyers offer free defense. Protesters support them. Former hostages refuse to testify. Trial becomes theater. Araujo explains it as artistic resistance against oppression. Bolster describes engineering so well, jurors laugh at the audacity. Vitet maintains military composure. Never breaks. Guilty pleas. Zero remorse. Prosecutors demand, "Where's the money?" Araujo smiles. "What money? We brought toy guns to a bank." Impossible to prove what was stolen. Box contents aren't registered. Can't report losses without admitting tax evasion. Sentences, 9 to 15 years. By 2020, everyone's released. Araujo walks out, writes best-selling memoir, sells movie rights, university lectures about creativity and resistance. His line? Everyone won. Police got promotions, prosecutors got publicity, we got money. Argentina got the story. Missing 17 million never surfaces. Maybe buried, maybe spent gradually, maybe invested. Nobody knows. Exactly as planned, the heist succeeded completely, robbed a secure bank with toys and pizza, vanished from surrounded building, became folk heroes despite capture, crime into art, punishment into profit, arrest into celebrity. They prove perception beats reality, controlling narrative beats controlling weapons. Brilliant story transforms criminals into legends. But one person didn't win. Beto lost everything. Wife got revenge. Girlfriend disappeared. Crew never trusted him after his security led to capture. Perfect crime destroyed by predictable weakness. Betrayal from infidelity and broken promises. All the money couldn't save his marriage or buy loyalty. Alicia Dulio did what 300 cops couldn't. Made the magicians disappear. Not through forensics or surveillance, through something simpler, more devastating. A woman with nothing left to lose. Every reason to destroy the man who abandoned her. Banco Río proved you can outsmart a nation, turn crime into art, become immortal in your country's mythology. But you can't escape consequences of breaking someone's heart. It wasn't about the money, never was. It was about love, the absence of it. That's the one thing you can't steal. The greatest heist in history, perfect execution, folk hero status, millions hidden forever, all undone by a scorned wife and a text message. In the end, they robbed a bank with children's toys. But they couldn't toy with a woman's heart. That was the one security system they never planned for. If you want more stories about the biggest frauds, scams, and cons in history, hit that subscribe button.